Okay. Yeah. Fine. Yeah. Good evening, all. So, myself, I am Vijay. I hold 17 plus years of experience, which includes 8 plus years of experience in Python environment. So my experience includes design, development, and implementation of Python and Django based applications. So well versed in implementing different Python libraries like NumPy, CP, Pandas, PyTables, Matplotlib, URLlib, right? Experience in implementing large scale business critical systems using object oriented programming design, right? And developing varieties of web application, implementing MVT architecture using server side applications, right? So before I start, can anyone please confirm whether my voice is clear, whether the screen is visible or not, right? Yeah, can anyone please confirm that? Yes, yes, I got enough confirmation, right? So as part of today's demo, just I'm going to cover the following topics. So the demo goes for today and tomorrow. Okay. Why Python? Who can learn Python? How Python was built? Python real-time applications, Python usage, Python features compared with other programming, and reasons why Python is suddenly super popular, right? And Python scope and job market. See, Python is not a kind of technology which is very recently introduced. So Python was introduced almost like 10 years, like 30 years back, right? So Python was introduced in the year 1989, almost like 30 years back, right? Yes. And reasons why Python is suddenly super popular, especially from the last 3 to 4 years. You have got a great boom for Python. There is a why Python is suddenly super. What are the reasons which makes Python suddenly super popular? And who can learn Python? Is there any prerequisites for learning Python? Means there is no prerequisites for learning Python, that you need to have the knowledge on C, Java, or any other, right? Even with anyone with zero programming or non-programming also can update with Python, right? Okay. So just let me check, right? I define Python in 5 lines. I define Python in 5 lines. It's a general purpose programming language. Multi-programming features are included. High level language, interpretation language, and user-friendly programming language, right? So user-friendly programming, right? General purpose, multi-programming features, high level, interpreted and user-friendly programming language. Okay. General purpose means any kind of applications can be developed by using Python. Any kind of applications you can develop by using Python. Means like mostly like automation applications, web applications, animation applications, graphic applications, and desktop applications. Means before Python, we have got some languages. We have got some languages like Pascal, Fortran. We have got languages like Pascal, Fortran, COBOL, right? These languages are purpose-based languages. They are used for specific purposes. not for all, right? Pascal and Fortran for complicated mathematical and scientific applications, COBOL for business applications, right? They are for a specific purpose, purpose-based languages. But a language which is suitable for developing any kind of application, such a language we call it as general purpose programming language. Python is such a kind of programming where any kind of application can be developed by using Python, right? Yes. Okay. So it is not, Python is not purpose based. It is not for a particular purpose. It is general purpose, any kind of applications. Fine. Okay. Multi-programming means, for example, if I take a labor example to explain this multi-programming. For example, if you want to launch a new product in the market, right? To launch, for example, if you want to launch a new mobile phone into the market, right? To attract the customers, what features you want to see? The features what we see in different other mobiles, everything, if you are embedding in a single piece, right, it's going to attract the customers, right? In same way, Python is such a kind of programming where we can develop any kind of applications, like it has got the features. Python is such a kind of programming where it has got features of different other programming languages within it, like procedural oriented, object oriented, scripting, modular programming, right? So that's why we call Python as a hybrid language. High level language, Python is what? High level language. There are two types of languages, right? There are two types of languages. Low level language and high level language. Observe this. Low level language and high level language. Low level languages. And secondly, high level languages. Low level language and high level. Low level languages like assembly level language. Low level language like assembly level language. They are not human understandable. First thing is not human understandable. They are not portable. Secondly, they are not portable, right? Yes. And mainly, they are machine dependent. They cannot run on all the hardware and all the operating systems, right? Machine dependent. High level languages. High level language like Python. High level language like Python. They are human understandable. Firstly, like human understandable. They are portable, human understandable. Second is like portable. And machine independent. Okay, portable, we can carry that carryable, right? We can carry that programs. So here not human understandable, they cannot be carried out from one system to another system, machine dependent, and they cannot run on all the hardware and all the operating systems. Human understandable, these are easily, they can be carried, portable, and machine independent, they can run on all the hardware and all the operating system, right? Fine. And if you see this next feature, interpretation language, Python is an interpretation language, right? Interpretation means line by line execution you are going to see, right, which makes debugging very easy, right? User friendly programming language or programmer friendly programming language, right? See, interpretation means we have got compilation language and interpretation, right? Just observe, you have got 5 lines, 10 lines of code, you have got 5 lines of code. If you got error in the second line, it won't execute the remaining lines. If you got error in the second line, it won't execute the remaining lines. Abnormal termination is, right? Line by line execution, which makes debugging easier, right? Yes. User friendly programming or programmer friendly programming language, which provides simple syntaxes, which looks like normal English statements. User friendly programming, which provides simple syntaxes, which looks like normal English statements, right? Okay. Okay, so Python has got features. Python was built or derived by taking the features from different programming languages, like procedural oriented programming like C language, object oriented programming like C++, Java. It has got features, right? What programming language features you got? Like procedural oriented programming like C language, object oriented programming like C++, scripting languages features like shell script, and modular programming like modular. If you take the example of this Java programming, right, the Java programmers or developers are strictly restricted to use only object oriented programming. Without object oriented programming, we cannot develop a single Java application or a program, right? Compulsory, we need to have that object oriented programming, right? But in Python, with object oriented, without object oriented, with procedural oriented, without procedural oriented, right, and with scripting and with modular, we can develop many varieties of applications, right? Yes, that's the reason today Python is widely used or mostly used in the industry, in the implementation of even in different high-end technologies. Okay. $89,300 inbuilt modules. 89,300 inbuilt modules. Okay, fine. Python is providing for various domains. Whatever domain you are from, Python is providing a module. If you're from data science background, Python providing a separate module for data science. If you're from networking background, Python is providing a module for networking. For big data, it is providing modules for testing or for databases. All right, for any types of file formats. If you observe here, the Python has got a great boom in today's market because of this modular programming or modules concept, right? It is providing modules for various domains. For data science, it is providing separate modules. For machine learning, for big data, for testing, for networking, We have got modules Python is providing for animations. For operating system, the name of the module itself is OS. If you're from database background, Python provides module for each and every database. For Oracle, like CX underscore Oracle, for MySQL, PyMySQL, right? So for every database, right, Python is providing a module. Excel. So Excel module, right? Excel, for example, if you want to Excel. For creating Excel file or Excel workbook, we have got a separate module using which by writing Python statements, 3 to 4 lines of Python statements and executing them, a Excel workbook gets created. Excel file is going to get created. Okay. For each and every file format, for XML files, the name of the model itself is XML. For CSV, the name of the model itself is CSV. For PDF, we can create PDF files. By writing Python statements, we can create PDF files. We can write data into it. We can read data from it. See, Excel workbook, Excel, I was just talking about this Excel workbook, right? You can create a Excel file or Excel workbook, right? By writing Python statements. And you can create multiple Excel sheets, sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3, sheet by writing Python statements itself. You can insert data by writing Python statements. We can insert the data into second Excel sheet, for example. You can read data from third Excel sheet by writing Python statements. You can perform all this, right? And even in database side also, you can write all the Python statements executing, go and check in the database, the table gets created, data gets inserted. Okay, for XML, CSV, PDF, and math. Okay, for math or mathematical operations, right? We can for all the mathematical operations. For statistics or for stat models. For statistics or for stat models, right? For administrative activities. We have got, okay, for generating graphs, normal graphs, bar graphs, histograms, scatter plots, stack plots. Okay. So yes, for SQL Server, we've got PyODBC, for MySQL, PyMySQL, for Oracle, CX underscore Oracle. So for every database, Python is providing a model using which we are going to connect with that. Okay, and we can perform any valid SQL operations, right? Now, topmost, see, I just going to say, right? Companies using Python, just observe this. Second, notepad. Topmost applications, companies using Python, and topmost applications built by using Python. So let us see, and I'll also show like Python mostly used for developing what kind of applications. So first I'll discuss like Python real-time applications, right? Python real-time applications. What kind of applications can be developed by today by using Python? One by one in brief, right? Okay, first, like Python mostly used in creation of web applications today. Web applications, right? Many web applications are getting developed today by using Python, especially for developing web applications, right? Python providing a framework. It has got a framework called the Django framework. It's a framework given by Python especially for web application development at a rapid speed. You can develop a web application as compared, you may ask, right? You have got languages like Java, .NET, PHP for developing these things. Why again? So at a rapid speed you can develop web application, and with very less coding, and it has got its own database also. The Django has got its own database like SQLite 3. It has got its own application server. So secondly, web application is one. Second, automation applications. Python mostly used for creation of automation applications, right? Applications. Automation applications. Automation applications using the technologies like a data science, using technologies like data science, using technologies like IoT, right? Using technologies like DevOps. So talk about this IoT, right? It is a physical network or device connected with electronics, software, sensors, and network connectivity for collecting data, exchanging data, and controlling the things from the place where you are, right? So today, if you talk everything, Internet of Things, right? IoT. So everything through online banking, online shopping, online exams, online healthcare, okay, everything. So here, in a simple way, I can say it is a electronic. It's nothing but electronic devices connecting and communicating with each other, accessed by a smartphone or a computer. So here, 90% of the coding done in Python. 90% of coding in Python, right? Yes. 90% of in Python, right? Yes. In data science also, right? Everything deals with the data. Data has got experience. It has got a future reference. Using data or data science, we perform data analysis, data predictions, classifications, data recommendations, right? So it's a blend of technique, like like data analysis, data predictions, classifications, clusterings, recommendations. The main technique what we see in data science, like machine learning, right? Machine learning, right? Yes. So just machine learning, we have got many techniques available. ML, right? So it is a tech. If we discuss like ML, it is an approach. So where exactly Python is used within this machine learning means, so it is an approach. Machine learning, it is an approach where we are going to provide some data patterns to an application. Based on the data patterns provided, we are making it to predict in the automated fashion. A very small example. Okay. If you want to train the application, you're making the application to predict, right? A bank provided loans to 1,000 customers, assume. Out of this 1,000, so my application need to predict tomorrow to whom to approve the loans, to whom to reject the loans. In a simple way, I can make you understand, right? So out of this 1,600, they are paying the loans regularly. Assume 400, they are not paying the loans. Those who are paying the loans, they have got some common features. I'm grouping them as X features. Who are not paying, they have got 5 features. For paying the loans, they have got X features. Who are not paying, they have got Y features. All these X and Y features, X and Y features, right? Whenever you got X and Y features, right? We are going to provide this X and Y features to the application. Based on that, the application need to predict tomorrow if 100 new customers are approaching for a loan. Out of this 100, 30 have got X features, 70 has got Y features. To whom to approve the loans? The people who got X features, they can pay the loans, right? Approve the loans for this and reject the loans for this, as the data or the history is saying that people with Y features, they are reject. Okay, they are not paying the loans, so reject them and approve the loans for this people who got X features. Means who is doing this? Application is performing. Application is approving or rejecting, right? Who is, how application performing means it is got trained. Who is training it? You are providing by data patterns. The person who trains this application, we call him as a data scientist. So in a simple way I said, but lot of life cycle is involved here. But here ML, machine learning, right? We have got many techniques: regression, classification, clustering, and recommendation, pattern matching. For all these techniques to implement, you require a language, or to code, to implement or to code, you require a language. So Python is the mostly chosen or mostly used programming, which has got many modules towards data science, machine learning, right? Like NumPy model, Pandas model, Matplotlib, CP, Scikit-learn. In this way, we got many models for data science or machine learning. Python is providing, right? Yes. Apart from this, where Python can be used, apart from this, right? Even in DevOps, right? In DevOps lifecycle also, this Python is one of the best scripting language, which has got vast varieties of libraries. So in the case of DevOps, right? The main goal is to reduce the time taken in the DevOps lifecycle in improving the efficiency, right? So whatever stages it has got, like requirement gathering, system design, system implementation, system testing, system deployment or maintenance, right? So it's a, not only this, here Python serves as a remedy to any problem in the IT industry, right? It has got immense library support, right? Yes. Okay. So apart from this, Python is also used for in this big data environment, right? It is also used for big data environment. So big data also has got a great boom in today's market. Like if you talk, I'll just take a minute or two for explaining where exactly Python used in this big data. If you talk, like the name itself saying, like huge volumes of data, KBs of data, MBs of data, GB, KB, MB, GB, terabyte, petabyte, exabyte, zettabyte, etabyte, sotabyte, so on, right? Okay. Okay. From TB onwards, we say it as big data or huge data, right? But here you should have seen KBs, MBs, GBs, or even TBs of data. But do you think like petabytes or exabytes of data, is it getting generated in the current real world? If so, petabytes of data generation. Petabytes, right? Yes. 1 petabyte equal to 1024 TBs. 1 petabyte equal to 1024 TBs. Okay. Examples of petabytes of data generation means we can see that social media like Facebook, it has got millions and trillions of users throughout the world, right? In a minute, how many posts and videos are getting circulated? What should be the storage capacity of it? Okay. So here, not only like Facebook, right? Today, if you talk like any application generating huge data, right? If you talk about any application data, for example, if I take 1 minute to transaction, 1 minute to transaction, right? In a minute, how many? Talk like just now I was talking about this Facebook, right? In what is the data generated by Facebook in a minute? What is the data generated by Twitter? Twitter tweets, right? Data generated by Google queries. Hmm. YouTube videos upload. YouTube videos upload. Okay. And if you got like email and Gmail messages, millions and trillions of users using email or Gmail messages, what should be the storage capacity? And if you talk like bank transactions, hundreds of branches, millions of customers making multiple transactions per day, per week, per hour, per month, right? Yes. Telecom transactions. And if you talk like and if you talk like e-commerce sites, right? E-commerce sites. E-commerce, Facebook, emails, Twitter, okay, Google, Telecom, all this, right? So all this are generating huge data in petabytes, right? So we have got some big data tools available, like big data tools like big data Hadoop, like big data Spark, right? Big data Spark, Hadoop and Spark for huge data storage and huge data processing, especially Spark, very high speed processing, in memory computation, memory level storage and processing. Huge data it can process in a quick time, right? Uses languages like Scala, uses languages like Python, right? Implementation goes in languages like Scala and Python. Spark with Python, we say like PySpark, right? PySpark. Okay, fine. So even Python is used within this big data environment, also used in this big data environment, right? Yes. Apart from this, so in web applications, automations, in big data applications, in GUI animations, graphical user interface, GUI animations, or like for first like scientific applications are for numerical analysis. So even for research and development, right? But NASA is using Python for its research and development activities because of this hybrid features of Python. And GUI animation, graphical user interface or animation applications, graphical user interface or animation applications, right? So Python, like we have got modules Python providing like PKinter, PyQt, right? And Python is also used for gaming or game development. Game development, right? Many games, single user, multi-user online games. Okay. Okay. Even for GUI, right? Okay. Next, like for scheduling task, right? We have got Airflow for it, and for testing or testing, and even Python used for software development is used for software development, right? Most software developers use Python as a support language, and for business applications, both. Yes, CY Borra, right? It's for both. Okay, business application means Python is one of the best choice for e-commerce websites, e-commerce sites, right? Python is one of the best choice for developing e-commerce websites. Mm. And one of the hottest application of Python, like database applications, right? So even for database applications, it can connect with any database, right? Like Oracle, MySQL, SQL Server, PostgreSQL, right? And apart from this, Python also used for network programming, networking applications, right? For networking applications. Okay. And also like Python used for video or audio or video applications, audio and video applications. Okay. There are some audio and video applications developed by using Python, like Tim Player is one famous web in that is applications like Tim Player, C Play, The applications developed by using Python for audio and video applications, right? Apart from this, Python is also used for web scraping. Web scraping means scraping data from different websites, harvesting data from different websites, right? If data in the database, you will query it. If data not in the database, you will scrap it. So for that, we have got URL lib module, right? We have got module like URL lib module, right? Thanks. And for embedded applications, it's not only for computer applications, for electronics and civil side also. We have what models Python is providing, right? Embedded applications, right? The famous embedded application, Raspberry Pi. Also for CAD application, 3D CAD applications, right? For computer aided designing. Okay, apart from this, Python also used for computer vision. Computer vision means in the color detection, object detection, face detections, right? Okay. Apart from this, Python used in robotics. And for desktop applications creations, desktop applications, single user applications, right? Okay. Web applications, automations, big data, scientific, GUI animations, gaming applications, scheduling, testing, business applications, database, networking, web scraping. That's the reason Python is mostly used today. Like the usage of Python is increased a lot, especially from the last 3 to 4 years, right? Topmost applications, see, who are using Python today? Just I'll take 5-10 minutes more. Who are using Python today? And topmost applications. Topmost applications built by using Python. Who are using Python today? Topmost applications built by using Python. Topmost applications built by using Python. Okay. Google using Python for its web search systems. YouTube using Python for its video sharing service. Yahoo using Python. Instagram using Python. Google using Python, YouTube, Yahoo, Instagram, right? Fine. Instagram, the prime reason of Instagram choosing for Python is its simplicity and its practicality, right? And the one of the best example, like Google using Python, right? Python web applications. The first web crawling is written in Java. Later it was so difficult, right? It was rewritten in Python. And Uber using Python. Uber pricing algorithm implemented using Python. Quora. There are some applications like Quora, Reddit. Okay. Netflix using Python. Netflix is using Python for its security automation and for its subscription purpose. Okay. MMOG, massively multiplayer online games. Maya, a powerful 3D animation, uses Python scripting. iRobot, iRobot, right? For military and commercial applications. For military and commercial applications, right? Yes. And observe this. Iron Port email server product. Iron Port email server, right? It uses more than 1 million lines of Python code for doing its job. And companies like IBM, Seagate, Qualcomm, all this they use Python for hardware testing. IBM, Seagate, Qualcomm for hardware testing purpose, right? Yes. So these are the some of these companies or these applications built by using Python, right? Yes. Now, reasons which makes Python suddenly super popular, right? Reasons which makes Python suddenly super popular. Yes. Firstly, very less coding you are going to see in Python. Very less. In the tomorrow session, I'll be briefing you, right? How the coding of Python looks as compared with other programming. I'll take code, I'll take task, and I'll implement in both the multiple languages. Right? Very less coding. And secondly, simple and easy syntaxes. Simple syntaxes given by Python. Simple syntaxes. They look like normal English statements. Multi-programming features. Okay. Very less coding, simple syntaxes, multi-programming features, right? Yes. And wide varieties of applications, wide varieties of applications. Wide varieties of applications. Many built-in functionalities. Many built-in functionalities, right? Yes. Okay. And interactive mode is provided by Python. Interactive mode. Interactive mode given by Python. Interactive mode means, okay, one second. One second. Interactive mode means just you can go to this, okay, check, go to the command prompt, type Python here. Python, this feature you cannot see in any other programming language. Just we can communicate with Python statement by statement. As you communicate with your friend through message, you are going to get response. In the same way, Python is going to give response for each and every message or statement that you type, right? For example, just I'm asking Python, what is 3 plus 4? What is 5 into 7? See the response, 35. X has 10. No need to specify the data type like int x or float y. Directly say x has 10, y has 4.5. X plus 5 value, yes, 14.5. X into 2, x to the power of 2, over symbol, right? Yes. Okay. Any valid Python statements, x equal to hello, you say, right? And x into 3 prints hello for 3 times, x into 5 prints hello for 5 times, right? Any valid Python statements it is going to, right? If you want to come out, say quit, right? So in this way you can interact with Python statement by statement. So observe, this is what interactive mode. These are the reasons which makes Python suddenly super popular. Just I'll show you in Google, right? So just we can, I'll show you in Google. I'll open the Google and I'll show you, right? Popular coding language. Okay. Especially from the last 2-3 years. Okay. I'm opening this Google, right? Just I'll say like popular coding language, right? Yes. In, for example, first check in 2020. Okay, for example, top 10 programming language in 2020: Python, JavaScript, Java, C Sharp, C++, all this, right? Python, JavaScript, Python, JavaScript, Java, right? Yes. Python stands first, right? And here, if you see most popular programming language, Python stands first. Here also popularity of programming, Python stands first. Next comes Java, JavaScript, Python. Okay, next see. If you see from the last, see here, like Python remains the most popular programming language. The most popular programming language, Python. From the last 4 years, if you see dark blue color, see this orange color increased, ash color, blue color. So there is an increase in year by year, right? Yes. And if you see that The usage of Python in the industry, right? See, ranking wise, Python number one ranked. Next comes Java or the other programmings, right? Yes. So the usage of Python in the industry. So they can see the big circle, Python 31%, Java 19%, C++, C, right? The usage of Python, right? And if you see that average salaries and job openings for Python, see this ranking by average salary, Python stands first. Ranking by job openings also, right? There is great boom for Python today. So they are but we see less number of people, right, who has got good command in Python. So as part of our course, right, we'll be discussing in brief, in depth, starting from the basics to the advanced level, Python core, Python advanced, Python application oriented modules we are going to discuss. You see the course structure, right? Yes, one second. Python basics, Python operators in Python, like Python operations, Python modes, executions, editors, right? Yes. Python IDs. So I'm going to show you how to run the Python code in different IDs like PyCharm, PyDev, Anaconda, like Jupyter Notebook, Spider, Atom, VS Code, all this, right? Flow control statements, looping statements, Python lists, Python tuples, strings in Python, collections in Python, Python sets, Python dictionaries, modules in Python, functions in Python. So like different categories like lambda functions, reduce functions, filter function, map functions, default arguments, non-default, keyword, non-keyword arguments, modules in Python, how to import a model, different ways of importing, renaming a model, reloading a model. Yes, package in Python, errors and exceptions, exception handling, file handling, regular expressions, extracting required data from the given data, object-oriented programming concepts, database connectivity. We are going to show you how to install one database, performing various database operations, Python date and time module, graphic GUI programming, operating system module, Excel workbook. So advanced concepts like iterator, generator, closure, decorator, web scraping, working with CSV, XML, JSON files, data analytics, introduction to data science, some models related to data science, pandas, numpy, matplotlib, everything in brief, right? In depth. I'm going to discuss nearly 30 concepts in brief, in depth. We are going to discuss. Apart from this, we have got, even if people who want to choose for Django web development, right? So for that, I'm going to discuss HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, JavaScript, and some part of SQL. And apart from this, Django framework in brief, right? MVT architecture, web applications creations with 25 applications creations. I'll be showing you those who wants to go for web development also. That is after Python and also the web development. It's an offer batch given, right? Released by DURGASOFT. So just who wants to go for Python core and advanced, only like Python language, it's like 5,000 is the fee structure. And those who wants to go with Python and also like web development using the Django framework, right? Yes. Plus, okay, both combined package, it go for 9,000, right? Yes. If you want both Python and also that, it's just for 9,000. It's offer free. Yes. For this batch only, right? Yes. Yeah. Any queries from your side? You can go ahead with your queries, right? So for every software, right? For every software, directly or indirectly, you are going to touch Python. So it's in every high-end technologies, Python is preferred or used, right? So clear notes will be provided topic wise, assignments will be provided every week, and every session is a video recorded. You will be getting the recorded video of it, right? And in Python core and advanced and application oriented, I'll be covering nearly 300 plus code examples, right? Everything I'll be writing and I'll be showing you, nothing like pre-written code and just showing you, it won't happen. Everything I'll just type and show you step by step, right? Yes. So I'll be showing you different IDs. Yes. Okay, fine. So that only for Python core advanced, I'm going to spend nearly 75 hours in depth in brief to get, you'll be getting command at the end of the course, right? So I'll be taking nearly like 2 to 2.5 hours for completing this. So entire Python, right? 1 month and 1 month for Python core, 1.5 months for advanced. So totally in brief, in depth 75 hours of 30 topics. In that, I'm going to discuss some models related to different domains, some models related to data science, some models related to big data, some models related to operating system, some models related to database, some models related to graphics, and how to create our own modules if they are not available, right? All this will be covered, right? Any other queries, sir? Anyone? Tomorrow also you can just attend the session using the same link, same time at 6:30, right? To see more on this Python compared with other programming language, many other working examples. Fine. Any more queries, right? 2 to 2.5 months, 2.5 months, right? The duration will be 2 to 2.5 months. 75 hours. Yes. Any more queries, right? Yes. Yes. Pujit Sriharsha. So, Manisharini. Yes. So once you got command in Python programming, once you attend some interviews, 1 or 2 interviews, right? Definitely you can crack it from the command that you got in Python. We'll be discussing with many examples. We are spending time, 75 hours, right? So for first 2 weeks, I'll be going with, okay, 1 hour. Later, I'll be going with 1.5 hour, right? But as of now, will be timing will be like, okay, fine. For the first 2 weeks, right? The timing will be like at 6:30. Later, the timing of this batch will be at 7:30, right? First 2 weeks, we'll be having time at 6:30, right? But later, after 2 hours, it will be at 7:30. The timing for this. Yes. Okay, fine. Any more queries, right? Anyone? So if I'm done with this, if you're done with your queries, if there are no other queries, then I'll just sign off for today. If you still have what queries, you can ask me in the tomorrow session. So more discussion on Python tomorrow, same time. Use the same link, right? Thank you all for your time. Thank you.